Hello, Dazzle. Thanks for coming and hanging out with me today. I am glad that you are here. My recent increase in visibility has also made for more debating with other people on various political, ethical, and religious topics. I expect that given the opinionated posts that I put out here, and I welcome the debating. Whenever political debating happens, I notice a theme coming up, and that's America is the greatest nation. All right, by what standard? Which metric of comparison? Because when I compare America to other countries, I don't come to the conclusion that it is the greatest. Today, I am going to talk about why I don't think that America is the greatest nation in the world. America is terrible at ensuring that women get the medical care that they require to bring a healthy infant to full term. I find this incredibly enraging in a country that also just chose to overturn Roe versus Wade. When comparing data from countries in the Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development, or the OECD, America comes in at the bottom of the pile for infant mortality. At 5.8 deaths per 1,000 live births, the United States ranks number 33 out of 36 of the OECD countries, and Japan is number one. It has the lowest rate with 1.9 deaths per 1,000 live births. Looking at infant mortality, I would have to say that Japan is the greatest nation. It's not America. Scoring 33 out of 36 gives us an 8 if we're going to convert that to Americans' grading system. That is beyond failing and very far from being the greatest. All right, what about obesity? Well, worse. America got a big fat 0 for that score, so definitely not the greatest nation on that metric either. Among the 33 OECD countries that self-reported obesity data, the United States ranks last. Korea has the lowest prevalence with 3.4% of adults. On the question of obesity, Korea is the greatest nation in the world, not America, not even close. Surely, as the country that spends the most on healthcare every year, America must be able to offer its citizens a long life expectancy. Nope. Another failing mark here as well. The average life expectancy in the OECD countries is 80.7 years. The U.S. life expectancy is 78.6 years, and that gives us a ranking of 28 out of 36 countries. Japan takes the highest nation trophy for this category as well, since it ranks as the nation that offers its people the longest lifespan of 84.2 years. While America only earned a 22 on that test, it's still no passing score. This is especially astounding since Japan spends less than half the money on the health care than America per capita. Well, all right. American doesn't win in regards to health care. That's not the only metric, so let's look at other areas. Let's look at how American compares on its ability to run its educational system. Let's first mention that this is a really complex topic, and like trying to rank a medical system, it really comes down to looking at a whole bunch of different metrics. So which is the best depends on which metric you value the most. But overall, most education experts are giving the title of greatest nation for education to Finland because their education is free and the country has been a top performer on every program for International Student Assessment Survey. For years, this country has outperformed the United States in science, math, and reading. On this same international listing, America ranks 20, which is the very bottom of the list. While it is admirable to be on this list, being the last in ranking is far from making America the greatest nation. So how does America do when it comes to treating its workers well? Well, America is the only advanced nation that doesn't guarantee paid vacation time to its workers. Once again, making America the bottom of the list for the metric. France would be the greatest nation in this content since they guarantee 30 paid vacation days to their workers. America ranks 28 out of 30 for the minimum wage earned by its employees. Australia gets the highest, the greatest nation when looking at this metric. American ranked 38 out of 38 when looking at strictness of employment protection, with Australia also being the greatest nation in this metric. America sits fairly well in being number 7 when looking at the countries with the lowest unemployment rates, but the Czech Republic claims the greatest nation for that metric. So when we look at the worldwide data, America fails to provide the best healthcare, it fails at providing the best education, and it fails at taking the best care of its employees. Is there any quality of life indicator that America does take the number 1 spot for? No. America takes the number 1 place in nothing when looking at the raw data for quality of life metrics. How then can anyone claim that America is the greatest nation? It seems to me that this claim is based upon nothing more than our delusional ego. When I point out these very real numbers that demonstrate that America is in fact struggling and failing when compared to other nations, I am met with the statement, well, if you don't like it here, why don't you leave? Or some variant of this statement. To this, I will say a few things. The first being a realist about the state that a country in does not immediately mean that there is no value in remaining within that country. Like everyone who considers leaving their birth country, there's the very real attachments of family and friends that has meaning and value here. Also, leaving the country would in no way change the reality that America needs to do better in everything. Because there are some lists that America does sit on the top of, but they are not the quality of life indicators lists. So in fact, these are the lists that we shouldn't actually be proud of holding the highest rank for. So where does America sit at the top? We are the highest spender on healthcare. Per capita, we spend $11,072. We are the highest country for rates of incarceration. United States has the highest number of guns owned per capita. We rate the highest for ego. Americans are more likely to see themselves as the best than any other nation in the world. America is the country killing the most people with drones. America makes the most cheese. So this one seems pretty harmless. We're also the highest spender on the military. And we spend the most money on alcohol. The country with the highest share of income going to the rich is America. And we are the world's top consumer of high fructose corn syrup. It is far past time that Americans come to the realization that this country isn't the greatest nation in the world, and that there is much work that needs to be done if we desire to be seen as serious equals on the world stage. So that's about it for my rambling today. Thank you for coming and spending time with me. If you like the video, please hit the like button. It really does help. And until we talk again, you guys take care of yourselves. Bye.